Welcome, Lounge Lizards, to another episode of Legions Lounge, episode 36, where we talk about all things Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, Figura Obscura, Customs, and other mythically related action figures, and some other stuff. Gus von Krampus, everyone. Gus. Gruss. Gruss? Gruss. I think it's Gruss von Krampus. I don't know.
I don't even know.
Whatever. Gruss von Krampus, everyone. Which I think is greetings from Krampus. I think it's something like that, or whatever.
Nice.
We are your hosts. My name is Trevor16Shooter on Instagram. My co-host is the lead detective at Dorklair on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Bill Dranowski. Bill, how's it going, man?
What's going on?
Our friend
Happy
Nate.
holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays to everybody. It is officially December. We're in it. We're in it, hopefully. Yeah, our friend Nate is feeling under the weather tonight, so he could not join us. So we pulled from the fan base here, and our patron Curtis. Curtis, you're muted. Hang on. I can't unmute you. Unmute you.
I'm unmuted.
There he is.
What's up, Curtis?
Thanks for having me,
guys. Man? Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on at extreme last minute. Like, this was like a half an hour ago. I asked him if he could come on. Curtis is the consummate either host or co-host. He was helping out Jesse last night on Just Shelve It, fill in for the guest when he was having problems. But how's it going, man? You just did a great live on Saturday too with Amiga.
Yeah, we had the live on Saturday for the God's Fire collaboration, so that was really fun.
That was fun.
Appreciate everybody that threw out some ideas and helped us build that figure. That was pretty neat. So
it's great just like sitting in the audience and just throwing stuff out. It's got to be, for poor meal. It's like, hey, no, why don't you try about a scar now? Let's take off his ear. Okay, all right, we could try taking off his ear. But it was a lot of fun to watch. It's always fun to watch that kind of stuff. So before we get started here, I want to kind of run through this and get our guest out here. Take a second, only takes a second to ogre smash that like button. Helps us out. Lets people know this is happening. If you're not subscribed, if you're new here, welcome. Please consider it. Hit the bell to be notified when we're on. We've been on like 2 weeks in a row now. Or is it 3? I don't even know. Might be 3. I don't know. 2 weeks in a row anyway. So usually we do this every other week, but because of the Figura Obscura drop, and we had it, so we figured we'd come out here and open it up. We're going to try and make this a little bit of a shorter show because we're all dead tired, and it's past our guests' usual, I think, bedtime anyway. So let's move on with some quick news tonight. And it looks like we already have one. Kevin Boots. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. Don't forget to make it hurt. It's for the kids. So as of a couple of episodes of this show and actually the 1 6-pack on Friday as well, what we're doing is we're taking all the super chats and all the money generated from that. The proceeds are going to go for Toys for Tots, a couple of local toy charities here, and maybe some food banks here because food is desperately needed around here, and I think everywhere right now, just because of the cost of things and stuff like that. So so far, we had raised, I think, almost 300 in those first 2 episodes.
It's awesome.
And on the 1 6-pack, I think we brought in another $140 on Friday, which was awesome. Much smaller audience over there. It just is. But they, some great people. I will try to call some people out real quick here. Give them their props. Toy News Quarterly, TJ, my co-host, Jordan, Bearded Toy Man, really stepped up to the plate, man. I think it was like $80 or something, man. It was great.
Wow.
Biojex, Bustin' Chicken Legs, my friend Sean, Raina Toys, Noir Kaiser Effects, Stephen Delator, I think that was on the Customs, Rob Zamora, Braku Prime, Curtis Ackerman, Luis Maya, or Mahia, sorry, Hedgehog's Action, Curtis Ackerman. Scott Baker, Motu Guru, Dave Orkin. There's a lot of people here. Mindless Focus, Brick Something. I did call everybody out. Kevin Boots again. I did put everybody's name up on a little chart, and I'll update that regularly and give people what's up with the amount that's being collected. I already went out and spent, so I'm matching this. I said I'd match it. I'm going to do it. So I already went out and spent a little over $600. Took advantage of some sales on Cyber Monday. I was hoping to have a big picture of a picture of the big pile of stuff. UPS said it was coming tonight. It didn't come. So there's like 3 or 4 things I've got here right now. It wasn't very impressive. So I will probably put that up on the Cabal and probably put a post up here on YouTube. But it's been great. I appreciate everybody who can chip in if you can. Helps out really. Oh, hey, what's up, man? Carl with $20. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, Carl.
Wow.
Mindless Man, a reporter. That's awesome. Thank you very much, man. Good
Yeah,
dude.
When Kevin said to make it hurt, it's for the kids. I didn't realize he was talking about the donations. I thought he was talking about the
Krampusnacht.
Yeah.
Well, possible. It's
Both.
possible.
I mean,
Why not both?
Why not
these
both?
kids aren't gonna become good kids if you don't really make those beatings hurt. So
Exactly. Right. And they're not going to get these gifts. They're just going to get stuffed into a basket. Yeah. So I think that's what maybe that's what he meant by make it hurt, but I think he was trying to hurt me. So I'm fine with that. It's cool. Also just bought some copies of I'm Dreaming of a Brown Christmas from our very own Vernon Gibbs for the donation, which is really cool, man. It looks great. The illustration's beautiful. It looks like a really cool book. So go check that out. Go to Vernon. It's Vernon Gibbs. Go to his page, and it just looks like a beautiful book. So great thing for the holidays. Go check that out. And you can buy them directly through him instead of going through Amazon. You can get a hardcover, and he'll sign it for you and everything. So that's what I did. He was awesome. So that's that. Our top 5 Legions poll is up. So we did this last year. We started this last year, and we put up a poll. And at some point in the future, I don't know if it's going to be before the end of the year or after the beginning of the year, we're going to get a bunch of people on here working out who that's going to be to kind of go through their top 5 and then go through your top 5. So we're going to whittle it all down and see who comes out on top. And so that is open right now. It's up on the Cabal. There's a link there. I think it was pinned, but I think I had Colin unpin it because, I don't know, nobody sees those pinned posts at the time. So I just let it float out there. So just look for, search me or whatever. And you can always go back and edit it. We did include Headless Horseman and Father Christmas. The Furious 4, somebody was asking about this. Furious 4 and the Unknown One I did not put in. And the reason I didn't put those in is because, they're limited. Not everybody had a chance to get them. I don't know if it's fair that if you don't have it in hand that it can be part of this. With the Furious 4, it's 4 figures potentially in 2 boxes. How do you put that out put it out as a 2-pack, as a 4-pack? You know what I mean? How do you do it? So
Right.
the only reason Sir Gerard was in it last year was because they actually announced that the regular release, they announced that in like November and showed it, was coming in. So I think it went up for sale in like early January and you had it in hand in February. So it was close enough that I said, let's put it in there. But these 2, I think, we'll definitely have them in the future, and then they'll each be their own figure. And then you can figure out which of my wife is going to kill me guys you like best. So, but go fill that out and make your vote count. I'll put the link in the chat. Actually, I got the form.
Yeah, I went and filled mine out today. So
excellent. Can I do that through here? Yeah, we'll see. Whoa, another. Hey, boy called Malice, $20. The kids are all right. Oh yeah.
Wow.
First time watching while logged in. First time watching. Thank you, man. Wow, that's super generous for somebody who's never watched the show before. You don't even know if you're gonna like us. Always a great time virtually hanging out. Our community is awesome, incarnate. Excited for tonight's episode. Awesome. First time watching while logged in. Okay, so this might be the first time you're watching live.
With commenting.
Thank you very much. With commenting?
Like,
what do you mean?
First time watching while logged in, so he has the ability to comment now.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that very much. Awesome. Who else we got here? Kevin Boots, Anthony Alciel, Jacob Forna, Braku Prime, Chilla Figs, Foot Soldier, Tom Clayton, Vonnie Rotten Pigs, Picks. Vonnie Rotten Pigs is a whole other thing. JMax77, Mike Hext, what's going on, man? Just show there's Jesse. Luis, Boy Called Malice, Motsuguru, Rob Zamora, who just won himself a Templar Knight a couple weeks ago, DJ 5000, Josh J, Cowabunga Dude, Articulated Times, Portus Maximus. Sorry, I'm saying this so fast. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get our guest on and get through this. So I got a couple other things. Did want to shout out Jesse Arnold, actually, and his show on YouTube, Just Shelve It, and his series Shooting the Shelf on that channel. He had David Williams on last night. It was a great interview. It's fun, man. They get into some fun discussions about all sorts of stuff, not just Mythic Legions, comic books, X-Men. Sometimes it gets deep, and it's good. So shout out to Jesse. Go check that out. Go subscribe to that. That's a lot of fun. And shout out to both Jared, Toy Bro. Well, all three of you actually now, because Bill just put up his. There was a mail snafu, but he put up his Father Christmas review just now. So after the show's over, you got something to watch right then if you haven't already seen it. And I heard it's very good. Jeremy said it was excellent. So
I'd love to hear how many. I wonder how frequently it will get. You know, like you end a video, and then like do you get like YouTube shows you what to watch next? It says you need to watch this next. Like I'd be curious to see if that happens to anyone after this show.
That's going to be interesting to find out tomorrow on the replay to see if it serves that up because we mentioned it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and your name is on it. Your name is in the description. Your YouTube channel's in the description. So,
right. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see.
I mean, and just generally Legions stuff will trigger other Legion stuff.
True enough. Let's go check that out. But both Jared and Darius, and shout out to D Amazing, man. Some great pictures in there. Like, I was kind of looking at his pictures. I'm like, I went the traditional route. Obviously, that's what they kind of wanted from this. But I kind of like the whole battling wizard angle of it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna see if we do another like traditional figure like this, if I can, sort of break the rules a little bit. I don't think they'd mind. But it was fun. It was fun to see. So go check those all out. All excellent. Red Krampus is shipping. Some people have it in hand. It was out at Krampus Fest, as was Father Christmas. A couple people got their hands on it. A couple people figured out what was in the bag. I don't think we're going to show that tonight. I don't know. I'll ask Jeremy whether he wants to show it or not. I think we'll probably leave it for people to find out. Because I think people are trying to hide from some of the posts. There was a couple of posts up on the Cabal that showed it off, which is fine. I mean, you can avoid
the red Krampus.
And if you do want to see it, sorry, Curtis, what was that?
I was just saying, I think the red Krampus shirts are out too online.
Yes.
I've seen a few people with those.
For sure. RetroRags.com.
Yep.
What I was going to say was, if you do want to see it, it's in my video, but I saved it it's on the end credits. It's like after I do my ending.
You let everybody know that it's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
A little spoiler alert. So if you do want to see it, it's in my video.
Okay. Well, we may do the same thing here. I don't really want to everybody, 30 people dropping off because they don't want to see what it is. So I
people have been good about not like just spamming it with, spamming the Cabal or whatever with pictures.
Yeah.
Of it, so
I was thinking about doing a poll, but it's a lot of work to get a poll going. So
yeah, it is.
And by the time we get it done, what does it mean if 15 people don't want to see it and 70 people do? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think we'll just leave it to everybody's, until everybody gets in hand. You can have it in hand well, we'll ask Jeremy, probably a week. All right. I still got a few calendars left. It's under 40 now. So a couple went today. So once they're gone, they're gone. At the Etsy store, I can put that link in the chat as well. I think it's in the description as well in case you want to go there later. We got shirts. We got Legion's Lounge shirts. 2XL, 3XL, and 4XL are on the way. All I have right now are large and extra large. But they should be here pretty soon, Dave. Let me know. Dave Workin. And I think that's it. Anything else that you guys have seen, heard that's is relevant or of importance?
I don't think so.
I think that, I mean, obviously the Necronomist wave is still out there for pre-order.
It is indeed. Yep.
We still got a little bit of time on that.
Yep. We have till mid-January, which is really nice. Go back and watch. I think the our Mythic Math episode did really well. Like it really got a lot of views. And I hope we answered some questions. I thought of a whole bunch of other stuff that I should have talked about in that afterwards, of course. But there's some good tips in there. You know what I mean? If you're not ready, if the holidays are, kind of draining the wallet, again, this stuff will be available later on, either at probably some number at Legion's Con next year. And, some toy shows that they're trying to do more around the country now. So you'll probably have an opportunity to get some of this stuff later, except, like the 2-pack. So go watch that video. That'll explain everything. And
I'd also like to say on Four Horsemen toy design on Facebook, I've seen them put out some pictures with like Necronomist without the robe on and like the Templar without the soft goods. So if anybody wants to see those parts underneath, that really gives you a good view of that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna again people have asked like why we don't do that. Well, I mean, for my part anyway, like when I'm doing these things, first of all, they're extremely delicate, and occasionally I don't want to take them apart because I may not be able to get them back together. And the timing for this is I need to get them in one piece back to the Horsemen so that they can put them up on for G-Con and show them off. So maybe next year we'll have, maybe they'll be able to do a couple, and we'll have one that's, if there's soft goods that kind of cover up what's underneath it, we can have one without the soft goods and one with the soft goods. We'll see. It's all a timing thing. But yeah, it's great that they did that. It's great that they took all the tack off Bishop so we could see what that looked like. So yeah, those are all up on Four Horsemen Toy Design on Facebook. I don't know if they did them on Instagram or not, but I think they're in the Cabal too at this point. So
I would say on the ones that are on pre-order, I don't know that you would, in my opinion, I don't know that you would need those pictures ahead of time because, you've got a period of where we ask questions. And from my experience, the studio has been very responsive that if they have a lot of people saying, hey, what's under this or what, can you show the exploded view of this figure or whatever, they usually are pretty good at showing that stuff off. And you've got a long enough window that you can do that. I think the difference with, like the figure that we're going to talk about today is you don't know what it is. And so when you log in at 9:00 in the morning, you have seconds to decide, what you want to get. And so, it helps to have everything available as far as picture wise, in my opinion. But
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I did, I was questioning a couple of things that, just based on the price of this one, we could talk about this more with Jeremy too, but like, by the time you're done with shipping, it's not a cheap figure, and part of what you're paying for is the presentation and the packaging and stuff like that. Is it worth it? But I mean, you kind of set my mind straight on that too, that it could be because they're, there's elf builders out there with this, basically the same body. I think that you could probably get for less than this, but then again, maybe not anymore. Maybe there's $60, $70 elf builders, $80 elf builders at this point. You can't really get this body. I mean, there's 2.0 male torsos, I think, at this point, right? Like that's it.
The bare arms, I think, are kind of rarish.
Yeah, bare arms are rare, so knowing that that's there, that could be worth it, I guess, if you need the bare arms. Sure. Yeah.
For me as a customizer, you're looking at the total package because I think we'll get into this figure. I think that I for one would like to have one just like it is, but if I do buy a second one, or third or fourth or whatever, and I wanted to put, let's say, the robe on a bigger, bulkier Santa, and now I've got these extra parts. What can I do with those? So it kind of, that equation in your head on how much total value am I getting out of these parts for what I'm spending is kind of what, as a customer, what I'm looking at.
Right. Yeah. All right, but before we delve even deeper into this, let's get our guest out here. We have the distinct pleasure of welcoming the former director of sales and marketing. No, Pete didn't take the job. He's still a fire chief. So he is the director of sales and marketing at Four Horsemen Studios, the co-founder of Legions Con, which we all just enjoyed and was great, and one of the original Poppin' Swappers. It's Jeremy Girard. Jeremy!
Hey everyone, how you doing this evening?
Excellent.
How's it going, man? Thanks for coming on, and thanks again for wearing your Krampus sweater.
Absolutely.
If you didn't get this, man, it's beautiful. Like, let me tell you, like,
really nice.
Isn't it really? It's a really high quality sweater.
I love it.
Like,
I wore mine yesterday to the to like one of those outdoor Christmas market type things. Yeah, it was so comfy and warm. It was freezing out yesterday.
I almost wore it to our Christmas party, but I didn't. But my favorite part is these screaming children. Of course.
I like to think of that as Chris and George.
Yeah, it's funny because so I gave one of these to my son, and he looked at that little guy that right there, who's supposed to be a female. Yeah, and he said, "Is that Chris?"
It does look like Chris when he's got his hair slicked back like that.
So we have a group chat of everyone in the studio, and I sent a picture of it, and I was laughing, and I said, "Oh, I just gave Jacob his sweater." And he asked me, "Is that Chris?" And Eric Treadaway writes back, and he's laughing, and he says, "My kids asked the same thing." And then George writes back and says, "My wife said the same thing." So literally everyone thinks that Chris, like, low key got himself on the Krampus sweater.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Oh, not at all.
Would not put that past him. It is a cozy sweater. I got to say, I may not be able to keep it on the entire time because I have the Krampus T-shirt on underneath this too. The heat is on now, so we'll see. Yeah.
Before we get into this, I'm not sure how this whole super chat things work. So I'm just going to PayPal you some money for the Toys for Tots. I'm throwing in $100 for
how much?
The Toys for $100.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, so we're gonna throw that in. I'm gonna get your email address after. So
thank you so much. That's awesome. And that, I the super chat makes it easy for everybody, but honestly, YouTube takes their cut of that too. So that's I super appreciate that, man. That is
well, really, we're gonna talk about Father Christmas tonight, and right on the back of the package it says that he is the spirit of generosity. This is a great time of year to do this. Not that there's not need throughout the whole year, but happy to do it. Happy to support this cause.
Thank you very much, man. That's awesome. And Josh, MC, man, $20 for the younglings. Nice. Excited for Cosmic. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. I'm super excited for Cosmic. Those packages. Oh my God. How great did those look in person? I mean, the actual packaging now. I mean, I can't wait to get that in hand. They just look so, I'm not sure I'm going to take them out of the, well, I will take them out of the box for a second, but this might be one that I want to like display in the box, at least a few of them, because it looks so good.
They're gorgeous. I mean, so I'm actually my show on Wednesday, we're going to be talking Father Christmas there as well, but I'm going to be doing it with Nate Barch. So Nate and I are going to sneak out, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this, but I know a lot of people are loving that cross sell on the back. So Eric, Nate, and I were at PowerCon this year, and we were starting to talk about Cosmic packaging, and that was one of the first ideas that we started talking about was those like classic toy line cross sells on the back. And all three of us just started geeking out about how much we wanted to do that. And as cool as it looks, I'm excited for as the line progresses and that cross sell gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and we see more and more. Yeah, to see the reaction of people excited about the cross sell, knowing that we were excited, that was an incredible payoff.
So are you saying that it's going to expand with each wave, and each previous wave will still be on there? That's going to get crowded. Okay. All right.
It definitely hits the nostalgic vibes for sure.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars packaging, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Get a ton.
Yeah.
On those.
Yeah. Rob Zamora. Jeremy G. Doc for President 2028. There you go.
There you go.
Heyo. $20. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it, man. Rob's put some stuff in last week too. Good dude. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Anyone, that's the other thing I want to mention. I do have some people donating some stuff, including Krona is going to be part. Well, I shouldn't have said what it is, but whatever. It's Krona. Okay. David Carbolka from Horsehead Toys and Collectibles is donating that. I told him what I want to do is I'm going to collect a bunch of different things, and I'll put some stuff in as well. And we're going to do maybe a couple of prizes or one big prize for the people who have super chatted over these last few shows. So if you're giving us a super chat, you're going to be entered into win some. We give some good stuff away here, but like this could be like a good, a nice big package at least. So anyway, that's that. So if you're super chatting, realize that there's, you should just be doing it for the, for the good of it, not of the goodness of your heart, but not to win something, but you will win something maybe. Anyway, just want to put that out there. Father Christmas. So Father Christmas, I shot this thing back in like June, I think, or something like that. It's very hard to get into the Christmas spirit. And,
oh, that's hilarious.
Scenes on, but yeah, I mean, not the latest shots. Those shots we just did with the production run. That was a prototype as well. But let's take a look at this thing. And Jeremy, feel free to jump in with any facts or so.
Sure.
It went up. We sold out of the all-ins. I think the mugs are sold out at this point. I think the pins are sold out at this point. When
I looked earlier, there was a couple pins left.
Okay.
But it was a couple hours ago. So
yeah. So I managed to get an all-in, and I got an extra one. There are still some up there, but we were talking earlier about this in that, and I didn't know this, that this was a bigger number of products than either of the other Figura Obscuras, correct? Is that correct?
So Father Christmas is really the first Figura Obscura figure that was designed once Figura Obscura was a thing. Because we had mentioned before that the Headless Horseman was originally meant to be the first release, but couldn't get it out for Halloween like we wanted to. So that one got pushed back a whole year, and Krampus became the first release. But when Krampus was created, Figura Obscura didn't exist. If you look at the original Krampus package, it doesn't say Figura Obscura anywhere on it, because that whole name and this whole brand kind of came out when Krampus did, and we were deciding how we were going to put it on the website. We were like, where does it go? Like, it's not a Mythic Legions. It's clearly not a Cosmic Legions. So that's how we came up with this brand. And after the success of Krampus, we got really excited and we started talking about the possibilities, and what this line became really were fueled by those conversations. So we already had Headless Horseman in the planning. That was already sculpted and tooled and, just had to be produced. So Father Christmas was the first one that came after all of that excitement. And, it really does start to, I think, show what the possibilities of this line are. There's a lot of new parts in this figure, even though that base body, which is covered in robes, is something we've seen before. When you look at the amount of new pieces and new tooling that comes in this, it is very much that kind of genesis of us being excited for this and, what this could actually be.
Yeah. And I want to, I'm gonna crack this open in a minute, and I'll continue to talk while I open it up and stuff. But I want to talk a little bit about it. How do I put this? There was a lot of. I put a post up on the Cabal. I wasn't gonna really go into it, and I won't. But I was I was getting a little irritated with people just, posting, either shit posting or putting up, it should have been this, it should have been, a barbarian Santa. And, I didn't want to go into the explanation myself, but I kind of do know about it, but I'm going to let you explain,
Sure.
kind of what Figura Obscura is supposed to be, in that it's not a Mythic Legions adjacent line. It's, well, you go ahead. I mean, jump into it. And,
So the previous point where you mentioned the quantity, a number of people were like, oh, it hasn't sold out yet. Because these are in stock drops, we have to guess how many we should order. The goal isn't that they sell out in an hour. The goal is that there are enough to meet demand. So this one was produced in larger numbers than both of the previous Figura Obscura figures. But I saw a lot of those posts too. And look, this figure's not for everybody. We totally get it. We knew that going in. We knew that this was the riskiest of these figures that we had released, because Krampus is, it's a demonic looking character. It fits in really well with existing legions and headless horsemen as well. But Figura Obscura is not meant to be Mythic Legions for the holidays. If you think about, those Star Wars holiday figures that are just like Black Series figures, painted holiday colors. Yeah. Those are ridiculous. They're awesome because of how ridiculous they are. Yes. But Figura Obscura is never meant to be that. It's not Atlas, around the holidays.
It's not. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's meant
Easter Otho.
Exactly. It's very much meant to be a line of figures that don't fit into our existing lines, that draw from mythology, holiday traditions, literature, all these different places to create somewhat faithful representations of these characters. Obviously, we're using some Legions parts, so Santa's got some armor on underneath that, those robes.
Sure, as a base body,
yeah, but it's not, super stylized Frazetta version of Santa, nor is it, Twisted Christmas. I saw some people suggesting, oh, maybe it'll be Mrs. Claus, like all scantily clad. That's been done. That's certainly not what the studio's interested in. This is, Father Christmas is a labor of love. Like, a lot of love went into this thing, from the sculpting to the packaging to all the content that was written. Someone asked earlier who did all the sculpting of like the drum and the trumpet. That's all Eric Treadaway. We're all huge Christmas fans at the studio, and you can kind of see that in this figure. And as we go forward with the Figura line, you're going to see figures that fit really well with Legions. You're going to see figures that are probably more in line with what people have come to know the studio for, the monsters and the creatures and all the crazy stuff like that. But the great thing about this line is it does allow us to do something like a Father Christmas, and it fit in under that Figura Obscura umbrella.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think when it first came out, and being that the first one was Krampus, and you've said it all, that it fits in. And then I think even then, people were kind of understanding it. It was explained on the website. You explained it on your show. And, the ideas started, popping up. Oh, is it going to be the Jersey Devil? Is it going to be, Chupacabra? You know what I mean? And yes, maybe it could be those things, but not everything is going to be a monster necessarily, or again, something that fits in, you could make it a monster in, a D&D type of thing. It's going to be things like this. And I think part of this is, I can understand, like, even from Eric's standpoint, like, just to do something like this, that's away from, you know what I mean? It's almost, it's like self-indulgent, but it's like, you want to, when you're an artist, you know what I mean? Like any kind of artist, a musician, like sometimes you want to break away and do a Christmas album. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everything doesn't have to be, heavy metal, hip hop, whatever. It's just like, I just want to do a Christmas album, man. I like Christmas.
Well, one of the things to keep in mind too, and without revealing any information I'm not allowed to reveal,
of course,
the percentage of people whose first order ever from our site are Figura Obscura is dramatic. Like, a lot of people bought Headless Horseman as their first purchase ever from us.
Oh,
Same thing happened with Krampus. Same thing happened with Father Christmas. So part of the line is to appeal to a wider base. And some of them will become Legions collectors. Some of them will say, like, wow, this is what a Legions figure looks like. I always use, as an example, Tom Whalen, the artist who did literally this Cosmic Legions art right here. His first Legions ever was Krampus last year.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be that crossover, but there are going to be some people that are just like, wow, this is a really cool Santa Claus that I can use as a holiday decoration. It's a high-end, decoration they can put. That's okay as well. So that's part of what we're trying to do with the line, in addition appealing and getting something cool for our existing client base.
Yeah, whether or not, you're pulling in, like I can see, and some people said, oh, maybe disparagingly or not, I could give this to my grandma and she could be like, well, yeah, maybe your grandma would like that. It's a nice gift for your grandma, it just looks nice on the table. I literally put it out on the table for our Christmas party. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to, it's like a conversation starter just to like talk about it.
I think it's interesting that you say that, Jeremy, about, people putting in their first order for this Figura Obscura, because like outside of our circle of people that know about this line, I don't know of too many people that actually know when these things drop. So what is it is the mindset that you're hoping that Legions fans are sharing this information with non-Legions fans, or is there kind of a retail, something that's going to go on down the road? Like, how are you expecting to draw in those new fans when it comes to Figura Obscura?
Well, I mean, we're already seeing a nice spike of people that purchase them for the existing releases, and we do marketing. I mean, we that is quite literally my job, to get the word out there to new fans. So we're already seeing that get out there for people that have never purchased a figure from us or may not even be aware of us. We have a number of people that are like, I didn't even know who you guys were. I'd never heard of Legions. But beyond that, I mean, we have plans to go forward and, get in front of other types of businesses. And these are great entry points into those businesses because they're characters that are recognizable, that, would fit into different types of retail establishments.
Right. I just want to shout out to a few super chats here. Nick 2, happy holidays, y'all. Thank you very much. $2, awesome. Rob Zamora again. Rob, come. Man. To be honest, I was a little apprehensive at first. I held off for the second drop to think about it, but it was the Amazing's review that sold me. Cool, nice. And sometimes you just have to see it. I mean, I was saying, if you were listening, Jeremy, like, that was a different take. And I'm thinking about like the next time we do something like, a little more in this pocket, that maybe I'll, do a few things out of the pocket. I mean, my first inclination with this is to do it appealed to me because I think, and to Nate too, because obviously the artwork on this thing is gorgeous. I think this is might be one of my favorite things he's done. I love this. Yeah. I love Christmas. I love this art. I love his art style, and this is a fantastic illustration. It just looks like a classic Father Christmas illustration. So my inclination was to do that kind of Kincaid type thing and get that sort of feeling of it across. But I was playing with it yesterday, and I threw a couple of shots up, people talking about it, the ab crunch and stuff in like an attack pose with a sword, and it looked pretty cool. It's a fighting wizard, man. It's like could be a battling wizard.
Well, Trevor, you nailed the photos. I mean, when Eric saw the photos, especially the ones in the living room with the fireplace, his reaction was that they looked like paintings. He said at a quick glance, they had that exact warmth he was going for. They had that painting-like quality. But you're right. There's room for both. The way that we present these figures, and Bill, you've talked before about how much you enjoy kind of the full write-ups that we do on the website, and that's one of my favorite parts of Figura Obscura.
And
being able to delve into that and write all that.
And the write up for this was really excellent too. I want to say that to you because it was a great read. Lots of different versions of Father Christmas and the progression of it was really good. Yeah. So,
and it was fun to talk to people because even Curtis reached out to me and he said, "Hey, I'm not as knowledgeable about this, but what's the difference between Father Christmas and Santa Claus?" And, being able to delve into all of these different representations of the character that we know today as Santa Claus and being able to say like, hey, that's genuinely from, our interpretation is largely from this one, this one representation, this one style, but look at all these other historical aspects that have fueled that over the years.
Right.
So yeah, I love being able to write that stuff, but we need the photography to support that type of an approach. But at the end of the day, yeah, these are toys. People are gonna pop the extra heads on different bodies and make wizards out of them or warriors or whatever. So having some of those to follow up with, absolutely go for it. That's a ton of fun.
Yeah, for sure. I think just to, it's not because it appeals to me, you know what I mean? And as it is presented, you know what I mean? And as it is sort of, with the artwork and everything, but, having, now seen that, I wanted a barbarian side. I think what the guys did yesterday on the show and showed them off on some different bodies, showing that, yeah, you could take this. And quite frankly, I want to say like this coat, I've seen some people try it on. It doesn't quite fit with the belt and everything on a 1.0 body, but it's still going to look cool. And like, not only that, like people who are into toy photography and stuff, to have a Santa coat, I'm talking like the ACBA crowd, to have a Santa coat that you could slap on, I don't know, like a Terminator figure or something like that for a shot, is going to be great. Like, where do you get this soft goods Santa suit? It's not available. So, I mean, it's great for that stuff. Props.
The suit
awesome.
would be $100. If
Yeah.
it was a custom suit, it would be $100 for the suit.
Easily.
Your review, where you, not spoiler alert, where you put it on Holiday Gomez?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you did that? Oh, nice.
And that is what I'm doing with my extra coat.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna open at least 2 of these to use the part for different things.
Same.
But the coat is so specific that I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna put that on another Legions figure. So the minute you showed that, I was like, yep, that's perfect.
Yeah. That's the first thing that came when I saw that thing, and I started like figuring out my cart, which was a matter of like 3 seconds. But like the things that went through my mind was like, oh my God, there's so many soft goods here. And Holiday Gomez, boom, I'm gonna at least one extra for that. So I ordered a couple extras, but
I mean, credit to the incredible team. I see them in the chat, the C. Jessam team over there. They killed it.
It's so
with
sick.
Those soft goods.
Yeah. They're awesome. All right. Slot Mock Slot says the fact that the Figura Obscura figures are sold is in stock and immediate shipping definitely helps bring in new people too. I think so as well. That's a very good point. I think you can just, you can get that. It's like now, you know what I mean? I get that some people coming into this line, I see it. We see it all the time. Hey, when is Alithia coming out? When is this was last year, but the Poxus. I'm like, well, I mean, it was only 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Like this is the way it works. You know what I mean? But people don't really always understand that, especially if you're not in the toy world at this point in time, because you're not going to the store and buying these things like you can, go and buy Hasbro and stuff. So people just don't understand it. So getting this in hand is kind of cool.
It's tough, Trevor, because, the way that we roll these out, there's definitely some people that don't love the way we do it, where we tease it the day before and then we drop it and we don't share teaser photos or anything before the drop. It stresses some people out, but like we've tried to say, they're not going to sell out in minutes. And there's 2 drops. Like literally there are 2 drops. If you really want to see the teaser photos, look at the stuff in the morning and then do this later drop if that really works for you. But we're not talking about a limit that's going to sell out in minutes, much less hours. So
the all in does, right?
Well,
The all-in can, but I mean that's if
the all-in for the second drop lasted until
it
Sunday.
did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a while.
Yep.
And I believe that was wasn't that the same with the second drop of the Headless Horseman? Wasn't that around for a while or no?
Yep. The second drop of the Headless Horseman, the all-in sold out, but that one lasted
not quickly, not in minutes. The second one, I don't think. I think that was up for a while. Yeah.
And the only thing we did differently with the Headless Horseman was the mug was only available in the all-in. That was the only difference. Otherwise, all of the items are exactly the same.
Right.
Going forward, we probably won't do that again. We'll probably make it so the mugs are available separately as well, because people do seem to like them.
They're nice.
I think
mugs.
they do. They are nice mugs.
The new one is gorgeous. Like when you
regret not getting the Krampus mug. Like I regret it.
I'll hook you up, man. Now now you know that they're a thing, and we're wired to be collectors. So like it's like, oh, I gotta have every mug now. You know what I mean? Like I gotta have it. So yeah, I think that's a good idea to give everybody the ability to get the mugs. I think you'll sell a lot of mugs. This is going to be great. Somebody was saying this will be a great. It would have been modified for a goblin drum.
Goblin war drums.
Goblin war drum. Paint that up, dirty it up a little bit, and it's going to look great.
Going back to what we were talking about with the way that they're rolled out, in this age of pre-orders and stuff and everything getting shown on the internet early, it's so rare to have something that's a genuine surprise. And we've said this before, that sense of being able, Eric and I have talked about, that those days of walking into the toy aisle and not knowing what you're going to see there and being blown away that there's a wave of figures you weren't expecting on the pegs. We don't get that generally anymore. So Figura Obscura is kind of our way to do that a little bit, to give people a genuine surprise, and to our poster's point, ship it quickly so it's a bit of immediate gratification.
Yeah.
Close to immediate.
Yeah, I do. I understand people. Again, this isn't Mythic Legions. So if you are a Mythic Legions completist, I am. I want these too. I mean, I love these. There might be something that down the line that comes out from Figura Obscura. I can't imagine what, but maybe I'm just like, I've done that with other lines, like that one's just not for me. I don't want it. But I mean, I get, like if you were to surprise people with like, here's like a 2-day window to get some, important Mythic Legions figure that fits in with the, the myth. It's like, oh, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, hang on a second. You know what I mean? With no chance of getting it later, like again, like the Legions Con stuff, you'll be able to get that later as a regular release. You'll be able to put that in. It'll be part of your storyline, and it's just a packaging difference. But with this stuff, it's like part of it is the surprise. You know what I mean? It's fun. And if somebody suggested, put the price out the night before, but I mean, really, how far in advance are you going to do that? I mean, is the night before enough time to budget? Like, no, you'd have to tell somebody 2 weeks in advance, and then it's like 2 weeks of like, $50. What could $50 be? What's it going to be? It takes and if it's $100, it's coming with, something's got to be a surprise.
I have a suggestion for that. So I have a suggestion for people that can't budget or worry about budgeting for Figura Obscura. You've got a little bit of a window before there's any more. We got gift cards on the website.
Yep.
Put away some money, buy some gift cards, and just store like $200 in gift cards for yourself. So whenever Figura Obscura comes up, you've got the budget for it. And then you can use your gift cards for Figura Obscura, and then you can start to build back up your gift card total. If you're really concerned about not being able to put away money, that's one easy way you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, and it is the holidays, so, ask your significant other or parents or whatever to give you the gift of a gift card from I love that. Although I hate the term GIF. It doesn't make any sense, but it's funny. I love this. I love this head. This is my favorite one.
I like that one too. The
other one's more traditional.
The chubby head is the one that I'm using on my Father Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I'm using on my Father Christmas. And the other one with the longer beard has such a wizard-like look that that seems to be the one that I'm really enjoying popping and swapping with. I posted one today where I put it on, you know, you were talking about the Furious 4. I put them on kind of the Bushati build, but I swapped out the lower arms and legs.
Yeah, I got those pictures. We'll pop those up in a minute. Yeah, I like that. I mean, this to me is a more traditional Father Christmas. You know what I mean? It's that old world. You know, this kind of even looks like Saint Nicholas in a way.
Can I mention Toy Bro real quick? So
yeah.
As everyone knows, he has the review up on his channel, and it's funny because the morning that this came out, one of the first things I was doing, I was looking through the pictures, was I noticed that this head, the long beard head specifically, looks, and both of them in a little bit of a way, looks like the old man in Home Alone that befriends Kevin. And Toy Bro mentioned that. I was like, yes, somebody like agrees with that, because you know, my wife was kind of like, oh, I don't know, because she loves that movie, but like it totally does, I think.
And this gives me a Miracle on 34th Street. The either one of them actually. Both of the people who played Chris Saint Nicholas or Chris Kringle in that looked very much alike. I mean, the old one's old, and well, I'm old. I can't remember the guy's name, but I think he was on a TV show too as well. But definitely, it's got that vibes too. But yeah, you're right. I mean, this totally does look like that guy.
The South Bend Shovel Slayer.
Yeah.
Hey, Trevor, one thing I did want to mention to you, just because you were talking earlier about the Furious 4 and about the single figures. Just to clear up any misconceptions, there will not be 4 single figures. There's only 2.
With swappable heads, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Bushati
you
build,
can make either one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll have the skeleton and the Mercurian, and then the other one will have the bull and the orc. So
right.
There'll be two different versions. So
that's true. So you won't be able to actually pick your favorite. My wife is going to kill me unless we say we'll split them up and give them each their own slot. And maybe just for fun, we might just do that anyway.
So speaking of that, one of the ones I did in my video was this right here.
Yeah.
Which is the Praetorian body with the Artemis.
I love the Artemis
skirt piece right there to get a little bit of green in there.
I love that.
I just threw this back together while we were chatting because I wanted to show that. But yeah, that's the Praetorian.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a 1.0 body with the coat on it. The coat doesn't close, but it still looks badass. I mean, it actually looks, more badass open. So
you got to show off that armor, you know.
Hell yeah.
Well, because it's all wired too. When you open it up like that, it gives it a very different look. I mean, if he was going to be more of a battle Santa, it probably would be wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bub65. Wish I could give more, but money is a little tight right now. Totally understand that. Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. It doesn't have to be a lot, man. $5. It's all adding up, and it's all adding up to a lot. And I can't wait to get this pile, man. It's gonna be like, I don't know how many trips. I got a Jeep, but it's still gonna take a while to get all this stuff over there. So I think it's gonna be my wife and me and maybe some friends. We'll see. Because I bought big stuff. Like I bought this RC car, which is actually really cool. I might have to buy one for myself because it's almost 1/12 scale. I forget what I think it's a Lamborghini or something like that. But it's like this. It's huge. I gotta check the sizes of things. I don't know what I'm ordering. I'm just like, Peppa Pig house. I don't know what that could be. 3 feet by 3 feet. I have no idea what I'm buying. Anyway. It's nuts. But thank you very much.
I'm literally buying that stuff. That's the stuff I buy.
I need your help, man, because I don't know what I'm doing, man. My inclination is to buy action figures, and I don't want to just buy action figures. So
if you're in doubt, buy some LOL dolls.
LOL.
My daughter loves those. I don't know if a lot of kids like them, but she's like, I don't even know. She loves them so much.
Yeah. What about the Squishmallows? Aren't the Squishmallows? I think.
Oh, she loves those too. Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
They're hard to get though. I think. I don't know. I'm just going through. If Bill, if you see anything in the chat you want to pull up too.
Okay.
I thought you
buddy of mine that owns Zero Legion. Sorry, go ahead, Curtis.
I was just gonna say I thought you were using like a dollhouse for the pictures, with the Father Christmas in there, and that like when you told me that you built that, I was amazed. Like that thing is gorgeous.
I was going to talk about that tonight, but I figured it's just going to take too much time. So I'll either do a behind the scenes video with that, or I'll probably both. I'll probably put a little BTS up on the Cabal for anybody who's interested in what that looks like. But yeah, I built that last year for something else. But
was that the same
worked out so perfectly.
Was it the same set you used for your Christmas Gomez shot?
Christmas Gomez shot, and I built it for Hasbro was sending me the Hellfire Club to do like a promotion. And I'm like, I need something, but I don't want to build it so specific that it's like got that gothic look. I just want a good looking thing with a fireplace. You know what I mean? So yeah, I put that together, dollhouse parts and stuff like that on a weekend, and it's worked out for a few shots. So that's good. Yeah. Worked out perfectly for this. And it was just it had that warmth and that old world feel to it. It was fantastic. Anthony says a buddy of mine owns 0 Legions messaged me that he bought a Father Christmas. Yeah, there you go.
This is the first one my wife was like kind of going crazy over. She was like, wow, I want that. And we're gonna put one out with the Christmas stuff. But yeah,
and it does look great with Alder the Moose. That was a good call on your part. I saw someone earlier say they ordered an extra one because of seeing that.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I just need.
That's something I wish I had time in my video to put together, but it just it was a lot of stuff.
I need some sort of royalties for these things. This is awesome. I love this thing. Again, this is just a very old world feel with the old toys and stuff like that. It's great. It's just beautifully sculpted and painted. And
it is.
Yeah, really nice.
Just the amount of tooling in there for a single-use figure,
Oh yeah, it's nuts. I don't think I can embiggen this without hiding the rest of us. I didn't really want to do that. Can I do this?
Nope. I think there would be a way.
You can't when it's the second camera. It's stupid. Yeah, there's still some things about Streamlab that really irritate me, but I do want to just quickly, because I've been showing them, but it's been very small on the screen to show like the details in this. God, I hope my fingernails are clean. It's always the worst. Just really nice, beautiful details.
Yep.
This thing's incredible. This is really beautifully done.
Careful with that. That is
I know, yeah.
Light piece. So people, when you're taking it out of the plastic, take your time.
There's a little flex to it, but if you push this too far, like you can bend that a little bit, but that will break.
It's very light. Yeah, it's delicate.
But yeah, this just the stitching and everything in here, this little lining is beautiful. Actual working, pockets that you can stick the toys in.
That gold trim is awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
A grub fits in there too.
There you go. Just saying. I actually I love the fact that you didn't stitch this in place too. So I mean, it actually looks pretty, little more contemporary. This really gives me like that Miracle on 34th Street. This is what he kind of wore, this type of thing, and this is really cool. I love it. And then of course you got your wreath crown, which fits only one way, and I keep putting it on upside down. No, it's not that way. There it is. No, is that it? No, it's not it either. All right, what am I doing wrong here? Done this like 16 times. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's great. But it's also great, and so I saw somebody say this in there that they made this removable. It's little things like that, you know what I mean? Like I just did something about the Horsemen for a video, the Headless Horseman, and just talking about that ball joint and just little thing, and the neck piece that you pop in just to close up that hole and make it look like there's a neck piece there, the remnants of a neck. But that's great. Love that.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of behind the scenes on this too. So the fact that those are 1.0 heads on a 2.0 body, we have Joe Valsapolo to thank for that. So when this was being built, Joe suggested, hey, we're getting these 2 new head sculptures and they've got a dwarf-like quality to them. Joe's always looking out for his fellow kings under the mountain.
Yes, of course.
he said, is there any way that we can make this a 1.0 ball? A 1.0, like a ball in the head. And obviously to do that, you needed a new net post to go from the 2.0 torso to the 1.0 head. But with all the new tooling in this thing, doing that new net post was a pretty minor addition. So that one little change like that, I think, adds so much value to this set. And it's absolutely an example of how the studio works as a team, and how having different people there, like myself or Joe, who are, hardcore customizers, it allows us to offer suggestions that sometimes may not have been considered, but that ultimately create a better overall product.
Right. And I think, yeah, exactly. That's great. And I mean, I know that they, they think like this. And just for a second, let me just put this up here, because I'm married to an Italian, so I think it's by proxy. I'm not Italian. But yeah, I mean, I think they think about these things, but yes, having someone who's like, it would be even better. You know what I mean? Like it gets the job done, and we've got the head on there, but it'd be great is if you could take it off and you could use it for other things or whatever. So that is great. Having people like you and Joe there to point those things out. I mean, things come up in the community. People in the community have great ideas and stuff too. The great thing about, the Horsemen and everybody involved is that they listen to that stuff. They're involved in the community and they do hear that stuff. So I love this cane. My favorite parts. This is going to be so killer again, I think of these things sometimes as parts for, other characters and other shots and, mixing and matching stuff that like Build was doing with Gomez. And this is just a great piece. And the fact that this hooks on it, you can have that on it. I'm sure there's other things you could find to hang from there, maybe a skeleton snake. Who knows?
I know Jeremy's not a big townspeople person, but that would be a nice shepherd staff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
yeah.
Somebody in the chat, who was it? Brick something. Let me kind of pull up that.
Yep.
He asked if the tree will fit in the hand, and I do have mine apart. I pulled it apart to do that other thing, but
yep.
The tree trunk does fit in the hand. I just tried it out. So
I think I did a shot with the early prototype like this, and what I was trying to do is get it to like, obviously we don't have
look like he's dragging it.
I mean, you know what? Actually, I kind of got it done here. I don't know how, but it's close. I think it was the prototype that was just like giving me, it's not quite there, but I think you could fake this a little bit to have it like over his shoulder, like holding it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or have him dragging it.
He could drag it. He could, be holding it like this, I suppose. I don't know what that does, but but he can hold it. It does fit in his hand very easily. So.
Yeah.
I'm sure they thought of that as well. All right. The only thing we have left here is our little bag of magic here, and I'm going to open this off camera. And
don't show that.
Oh, I am not. I'm totally not going to. We got our ducky. And talk
Reminder,
about
if you do want to see it, you can watch the Dorclair review. Go to the very end.
I will. The one thing I
love your voice too, Bill. That's very nice.
It's the
This is going to be great for Steph. ASMR, Bill. Nobody can see this, right? Okay, take these out. Back in. Suffice to say, I think people are going to dig what's in there. I love this little dude. This is just great stuff to have too. Again, as background stuff. If you're into toy photography, it's great to have these props, man. These props are gold. You know what I mean? Love it. Bag's nice, and there's more in there.
I'm going to bring up a super chat here that I don't think we brought up yet. Braku Prime.
Oh, hey, Braku. Thank you, man.
The family and I were on a safari in Disney. The drop happened, and I showed my wife, and she said, order it. Hottest place I've ever placed a pre-order.
But appropriate. I mean, it's the Magic Kingdom. Magic happens.
And there's little critters in here, right?
Yeah, it's totally Donald Duck.
When
So
the wife
one
tells
thing
you
I
to order
will say-
toys, you don't hesitate.
That's exactly right.
And the
I
one
opened the
thing I will
sack.
say
I'm not
about-
showing what's inside the sack. Sorry,
Yeah,
Jeremy, go ahead.
but I did want to say something about the stuff that's in that sack is
Mhm.
I did see some people that know what it is say that they were surprised because it's not specific to Father Christmas.
Right.
Part of the thought process behind that is it's his gift, it's his sack of presents, and
Right.
those are presents for Legions fans.
Right.
So that's kind of like Santa bringing you some gifts in addition to the little toys that are in there.
It's for
It is very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool.
People are gonna like it.
Yeah, for sure. But we're not going to show it. You're just going to have to get it. What was I going to say? So the undergarment's great. It's simple, but the purple works really, really well. I like that too. I was going to try and take this all apart and put it on a 2.0 body or a 1.0 body, but you kind of did that. So
That's cool.
Here's something.
There you go.
Something not in my video. I did this just now as we were messing
See?
around. And I kind of like, I did do this in the video where I switched it around. So it's not a zipper, but the Velcro is in the front. I kind of like having that detail in the front, but,
Oh yeah,
It's
that's a
kinda
little
cool.
more interesting in terms of the bunching and stuff like that around the belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that purple could work with so many things too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea to have. I mean, again, this is this is the kind of thing that the community does, Bill and Dee and Jeremy and all, I mean, and everybody else who gets this in hand and plays with it. It's like, you're going to see the value of this thing. There's just a lot of parts to it, like you said earlier, Jeremy, and like it's a great value. I mean, it's a great value for everything you get. It's incredible.
Oh yeah.
I actually go ahead, Bill.
I was just saying, oh yeah. I
Oh
was
yeah.
just agreeing.
Actually,
Value.
So I painted this up a while back. This is my actual.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh.
I did pop this on here, and it pops on like. Do you hear that?
Perfect fit.
Oh, so
Nice. I love that.
I like it. I'm gonna use the second one for this. I think I'm gonna do something. The white's
Yep.
a little off. I mean, because I kind of grayed up the white. I was planning on doing it with some armor and stuff like that, but I may do some armor on top of this. Who knows? But yeah, it fits well on a 1.0 body. It's just that the belt is, you can see how cinched that is to get that sort of bunched up like that. So it's not going to fit around the waist of a 1.0 body.
I saw
but
someone use a
there's
bar
other
trick,
belts. I was just
and
going to say, there's other belt.
removed the chest panel, and they said they were able to fit the belt around.
Carl says, if I open that surprise and it's a fruitcake. Thanks for the $5, Carl. I appreciate it.
So I got a question for Jeremy real quick. I see that there's still some of these available on Store Horsemen. As a customizer, if you were looking and thinking, you're right on the edge, like I am, of getting another one, what are the parts in here that you're like, I could use this for something else? What stands out to you?
Well, obviously you've got the two different heads, but I mean, if you buy one, you're going to have two heads, so you've already got an extra one to pop on. It depends what you want to do with that. They're both white beards, so if you want to paint one, I guarantee you, if you paint one of those with like brown instead of that white, it will transform that head. Look at the Joran Runeshaper head in the All Stars 5 heads pack.
Mm-hmm.
That head with a brown beard instead of white is totally a different character, totally transformed. So, I mean, having multiple heads so you can repaint them, that's a pretty cool thing right there. Without revealing what's in his sack, that's going to be something that is going to, excite you from a customization standpoint. It is a 2.0 body, which I know a lot of people prefer the 1.0, myself included, but guess what? We don't have a lot of 2.0 bodies floating around right now. So if you are itching to get some 2.0 bodies for customization, there you go right there. I think this staff is super, super awesome. Immediately, because I'm going to get one to display as is. This to me is the best staff that the line has done. That's like very druid like. So if I want to do like a druid type character, this gnarled wood type piece is exactly what I'm going to want to use right there. So I really, really enjoy that. Dig that. So I mean, there's a couple options right there. And like I said, I've been swapping stuff around, doing some different designs with it. I think that alternate head looks great for a wizard.
I actually think like the brown body underneath too. I think of the tactics elves that are coming out. Like I think some of those brown parts mixed with the green parts would be nice. Make some. And if you're going to army build out a few elves.
If people want to try their hand at painting, brown is a good base for gold to do. Like if you want to just turn this into gold armor, just like dry brushing gold on top of this thing would probably look really good.
Yep. And if you're a fan of the Rankin Bass animations, as I am, you can have young Santa Claus as well.
Yes.
Chris Kringle. You can put one foot in front of the other. Soon, you'd be walking out the door. That looks good. I think that looks pretty good on
earlier,
it, actually.
But the bear arms aren't super common too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a number of people that were really excited that it comes with bear arms. The wizards in the Poxus wave come with bear arms as well.
Okay,
I mean, they're meant to be covered by the robes, so the body underneath it is more so a vehicle to carry all that other stuff. But you're right, Curtis. Customizing is a huge part of this line, and knowing what's under there is certainly important. It's interesting. You were talking about that, before I came on the show about why we do or don't show certain things. And I mean, Trevor, there's a very practical reason, timing and the fragility of the prototypes.
Yeah.
Those are two major reasons.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is confusion. So the people who are customizers, who are hardcore into this, have a level of understanding of the line, what they're seeing, that the average fan does not. And when we show too much, it confuses the heck out of people. So sometimes that's why we don't show alternate looks that aren't intended, like things that customizers will be excited for, but the average fan will never do because they're never going to pull them apart in that way. That's why we tend to hold some of those back from the initial photos and just trickle them out when people start asking for them.
Yeah. Well, it's good like that, like you said, Curtis, that they're, the studio will put those things out as people ask for them. Because again, like even with the Necronomist wave, with the builder, the zombie builder, we took pictures of both limbs. Clearly one was transparent and clearly one was not. But they weren't shown as part of the array of accessories necessarily because they're limbs. But it was confusing for people. I think nobody really got it that like, oh, there's two sets of limbs. Okay. So then you put out the picture and, kind of explain that away. So,
yeah. And I think Jeremy's tip about, if you're worried about it, wait till the second drop. I think that's what I'm probably going to do going forward, because like if I would have waited for the little special that Chris and George did, that would have answered a lot of the questions that I had. So I may do that next time.
Steffo wants to know what Cullen asked, when will they be removed from store Horsemen? I'm assuming when the allotment sells out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to say when they sell out, they'll be removed. We don't have any plans right now just to arbitrarily pull them down. But they are starting to, I mean, they've sold really well. Like I know a lot of people were, oh, this, isn't what I expected and all that. I mean, don't make any mistake. We got amazing feedback. Like there were people that reached out to us who were genuinely, like you could hear the emotion in their words with how excited they were that we did something like this and how excited they were that we touched on, certain things in the article that I wrote that very much reminded them of their childhood and of Christmases past. So
yeah,
again, without revealing anything, we sold more Father Christmas in the first span of like time than we did Headless Horseman. So it sold really, really fast and really, really well. But again, because we have more to sell, we do still have some around. So
yeah.
They're still selling great. And I think that once people start to see these reviews and everything, people like Bill and Dee and Toy Bro, once they start seeing those and they start seeing other people get them in hand and take photos, I think that the those who passed may regret that decision and try to rectify it, and those who maybe only ordered one will say, you know what, I'm going to grab an extra.
Right. Yeah.
So when they're shipping, they actually shipped out a whole FedEx truck yesterday.
Nice.
So if you saw the pictures that Chris Gorich posted, I think he posted it in the Cabal, but they shipped out pallets of Father Christmas yesterday. They had a FedEx truck pull up that was empty and they filled it. So these things are going out. They are already in the mail, and that shipping team is working literally 7 days a week to pump these things out and get them under fans' trees for the Christmas season.
Nice. Yeah, like this is on, and I think Jeremy, I'm going to pull up your images, but this is on one of the Furious 4 bodies right there.
Yep.
Just in big in that, and I haven't tried it. I still think this waist is too big, but there is a lot of room here on this particular torso. So I don't know. I still don't think it's going to close, but I haven't tried it yet. So we'll see.
The belt's not going to close on that for sure.
No, I don't think so. And you're not getting this. Well, that's not a removable belt, but there are belts out there that I think you can get around that.
Yeah, I think CJ was saying earlier that he has belts on his website for sale that will fit around a 1.0.
Yeah, and then you got, there's all sorts of third-party people making leather belts and leather pieces. Max Bird and the Strups, I think, have some stuff with Kai Labs. Yep. But yeah, very cool. Lord Stephen Bishotti, look, I gave you money.
I know.
So we have to definitely pay attention to that when Lord.
It's a Christmas miracle. Even Steven's chipping in.
Good Lord.
Feeling generous. Stephen loves Christmas too.
His heart grew 2 times.
Guy.
But, I know he is. And I think that's the other thing. Like, you saying that this sold really well. I mean, I think within the toy community, the Headless Horseman was appealing to people, obviously, within the toy community, because it had the horse, it had that edge to it. You could fit it in with a lot of different things, or again, like some people just put it up for Halloween, and a lot of people love Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this really appeals to people outside of that core toy community who are, looking for. Everybody loves Christmas. I mean, not everybody likes Christmas, but people like this time of year. It's just it's a good feeling, and I had some people saying the same thing that you were saying about the writing with the pictures. It like took me back to either the Christmas, again, I'm talking with my hands, my Christmas when I was a child, or watching the Rankin Bass movies. It just gave me that feeling, and the Kincaid paintings and stuff like that from Nate's work. And it just harkens back to that.
I think it's kind of twofold because, this Figura Obscura line helps to introduce people that aren't collectors of the Mythic Legions to this realm. But it also, for those of us that are collecting all these things, it helps introduce some of us to those characters. Like, I didn't know the story of the Headless Horseman. I knew nothing about Krampus. I'm learning about these characters through this Figura Obscura line. It's been awesome. Like, I was talking about it with Jesse last night, but it's kind of like I got the Headless Horseman, and all of a sudden I wanted to go out and watch like the Tim Burton movie and watch the old cartoon, and I got into I just watched a whole bunch of Halloween stuff. It really got me into the holiday spirit. And I know this isn't really a holiday line, but it has, helped introduce me to some of these characters that I wouldn't have otherwise known. So I appreciate that.
I think that's going to happen a lot with a lot of the characters that people have thrown around, whether or not the Horsemen are going to make them or not. But I can see that because that's what this line is about. Again, Chupacabra or whatever.
Yeah.
Flasher Steve. What else we got? I think we had another super chat. Did I miss a super chat? Nope, that was Steve. Appreciate it, Steve. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's my brother saying use a little belt expander. There you go. I'm going to put mine next to Cosmic Legions when they come out and remake the classic Santa Claus versus the Martians. Perfect. I love that. Oh, that's a good idea. Mike Hacks, thank you, man. Ultra casual here. Only got Unknown One from D Blake, and soon this Father Christmas. Let's go. Will I get into custom? We shall see.
Nice.
You will, Mike. You know you will.
My favorite response to those types of things is, "I'm sorry, and you're welcome."
Exactly. That's the same thing I say. Yeah, every time. Yeah, Mike is over from the Dan Who group. I think D Blake, Damien got him into it. So there you go. All right, we're at 10:30. We went a little over. I do
Trevor, did you want to show those photos before we break?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah. So yeah, this is again some of the stuff. Let me move us around here. Hang on a second. There you go. Thank you again, Mike. Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Yeah, so there you go. Talk about the recipe on this one.
Yeah, so again, I wanted to show people just some of the ideas, some of the pop and swaps that I've been doing. This has 0 paint on it. So this is the Lord Bashadi, the Alpha build from the Furious Force set. I just swapped out the lower arms and lower legs with Valak. I threw in that, that loin piece there, the fur loin piece. That's just a custom soft goods cape that's wired from Max Bird, some shoulder armor, and just the head and the staff from the Father Christmas set to make more of like a mage-like character. When I watched The Amazing's review and he kept referring to him as like a Christmas mage, I wanted to lean into that a little bit and make him, have those iconic, black and red colors of the Santa suit, but with more of that mythic look to him.
Right. Yeah, very cool.
Is that
one? I don't.
That cape there, is that on Legion Shop?
It is not right now. We're getting more. It was actually, he did a set called the Brother Mandibulus set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have this one. It's great.
Yeah, that's the Brother Mandibulus set. It also has a skirt as well, but it's really nice because it's got that two-tone where it's the black outside but the red sewn on the inside.
Definitely. I don't know if I put these out of order. I guess I did.
No, so this is one I hadn't shown yet, so I'm going to show this tomorrow. I know a lot of people were suggesting that these heads could be used as dwarves. So I threw this. That's a Lord Bardrick torso and loin piece. Again, the red upper arms from the Bushati. But then I broke apart a Borear because he's got red in his armor. So I broke apart a Borear to use those pieces there. But again, I want to say there's no paint on this. I think there's a couple dabs of paint on the hammer to add to that little like jewel type area. But 90% of this is 0 paint on it. Right.
Yeah, I think it works well as a dwarf head. Really well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and again, another shot there, just a spell effect from my fodder bin, just to kind of get that look. I'm going to keep this build. Like, I put this together just to show, and I'm going to end up keeping this on display.
Yeah, I like this, especially with the red fire. It looks
well, because this head here is the one that I'm using on my Father Christmas. So that extra head, I need something to do with it anyway. So that mage is what I'm going to do with it.
There you go. Yeah, very cool. I mean, it's versatile. Look, I mean, like, sorry, I'm just putting something together.
I tell you what, that Furious 4 has so many parts in it. Like, I'm gonna need that when the other version comes out. I'm gonna have to buy a ton of those because these parts are so good.
So Want me to give you a little secret about the single packs for the Furious 4?
Love to.
So you know the Furious 4 set, how if you're looking at it, actually, let me grab it.
There you go.
Nice.
That's cool.
There's your Battle Santa right there.
Did you paint that shield?
I did, yeah. That was for this guy, my Saint Nick Klaus, I think I called him, or Klaus or Claus or something. I can't remember.
Nice.
But this was Warrior as well, just for the red too, Jeremy.
Yep.
Like it works so perfectly.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. There you go. Battle Mage Santa. Okay, let me unbiggen this. All right, you got something to show?
So this hasn't been revealed anywhere, but if you look at the Furious 4, I'm trying to get not glare on it, the Furious 4 2-pack, it comes packed with the Praetorian head and the Lord Bashadi head, right?
Yes.
When you get the single figures, the single figure of the Bashadi Pelvicus build is going to have the Pelvicus head on it, and the single figure of the Praetorian Uwit build has the Uwit head on it. So if you put them all in a row, you'll actually have all 4 of them with their heads on, with the words "The Furious 4" right in the middle.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a fun. I mean, it's a small thing, but you know, when we're talking about the packaging, we're looking at it and we say, well, hey, it's kind of like last year. I mean, last year, obviously, the Sir Gerard was packed with the skeleton head on in the box. So we said, well, you know, obviously, it's supposed to only come with the other head. We'll do that. So you had 2 different looks. We were going to do that for a known one, but it looked so much better with the helmeted head on. So the helmet head comes on both of those in the standard and in the Legions Con one. But for this one, it just made sense to actually pack the singles with the other heads on. So it actually makes a really cool display. When those are going to be available next year from Store Horsemen, if you grab those and you want to keep a set in box, being able to put those 2 side by side with the 2-pack will make a really kind of cool display to have all 4 of the group.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. I love that. Somebody saying, I think Dolphin, Groundhog, Easter Bunny for the critter heads. I think if Jeremy has anything to say about that, possibility there. I know mum's the word, but you never know.
People are going to be very excited for what's coming from Figura Obscura. After the success of Krampus last year, we got so enthusiastic about the possibilities of this line, and we put together just a list, like an incredibly cool list of characters that it was just kind of like throwing all these ideas on the table to see what could be done. And then some popular choices bubbled to the top. These are the ones that made the most sense. We talked about, you know, how would we do it? What would the interpretation be? Knowing what's coming, you know, next year, for example, I think people are going to be both really excited and really surprised.
Yeah, I kind of know what's coming next year, and I think you're right. That's going to be really cool. This is one of those fat bodies that I've been trying to do something with, and I think it looks pretty cool with Santa. I want to I want to do like a like that classic Ghost of Christmas Present type of thing. You know, the guy would show up with his you know, chest hair open,
just have his stomach hanging out and eating some cookies.
Yeah, exactly. The cookies. Oh, that's good. Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. My point being, like, this can fit on this body. It's not going to close with a belt or anything like that. But this coat is going to come in so handy for toy photography and I think even costumes and stuff. So, Luis Mejia for the kids. Great show. It was fun watching y'all popping and swapping. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. I'm telling you, this is and you know what? I think the other thing with as I was putting this on, I realized that I have very spiky gauntlets on this, and that is not a good thing for the soft goods. So that's the reason.
Yeah, it's tricky. That's a tricky.
Has the nice smooth gauntlets and the smooth arms. There's nothing to catch on that coat, so it's a little tricky. If you're putting this on something that has, you know, the spikes that go towards the upper arm, and then you have to pull it off, it's almost like, yeah, it's going to be a little tricky.
peel it, reverse it. You know what I mean? Like peel it off, and so have it become untucked as you're peeling it. That can help.
Yeah,
I got into that situation earlier.
Oh, did you? Yeah, just go slow. All right, Luis, thank you very much, man. $20. That's awesome. We're getting towards I think $500 already, which will be 1,000, which is amazing. Damien Trevor is going to be waterboarded for his inspired information. No, I'm not. You can't make me. You can't break me, man. You can't break me. I've been tested. I think that's it, man. I think that's a show. We took a look at this. I think everybody's got a much better look at it, and it's still available. So if you're on the fence and now you're saying to yourself, damn, there's a lot of stuff here, and wow, there's a lot of possibilities with this thing, go grab it while you can grab it.
I just reassembled mine as we were chatting.
Nice.
Back to this.
It's really not hard to put. What do you got?
Oh, there you go. Krampus out. Nice.
Oh, see, yeah, the red Krampus. I wanted to take a look at that.
Mine shipped today.
Not much different about that. Is it the same things in the basket, Jeremy?
Yep.
Or okay, gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
Slightly different paint applications, but it's all the same stuff. The retailer version was meant to be a new color version, but it wasn't meant to be a brand
different.
Yeah,
we
didn't want to throw in like additional accessories that people felt like, oh, they're making me buy a second one to get these pieces. It's just a new colorway.
Yep.
Mine are going to get hacked up for Fury parts.
Yep.
All right. I think that's a show. Curtis, thank you very much for jumping in for Nate. Nate, I hope you're feeling better. He said he had a fever, kind of broke, but he's still kind of under the weather. So we hope you're feeling better, man. But I appreciate you jumping on with us, Curtis.
No problem.
And look for, do you have anything coming up for Wolf King?
So we had our live
Godfire.
That
was great. Go watch that.
Yeah, this past Saturday. So if you didn't see that, that is on Emil's YouTube channel as well as in the Wolf Den. So right now we've got a post up in the Wolf Den where people can go and say what they liked most about that live stream. And that goes through Friday. And then all those people that make a comment on that post will be entered in for a wheel that we're going to do on Saturday. And Cullen's going to do that for us. We're going to give away some prizes. And at that point, we should have the finished sculpt from that session as well as the finished bio. So Emil's working on finishing up the sculpt. Steven's working on the bio. And we should have all of that by Saturday.
Excellent. Great idea. I like the voting and saying what you like about it. That's a great incentive to get some feedback, man. That's really good. Thank you, Cullen. Great show. Great
too, Curtis. We're going to have to do our this will be the third year in a row that we'll do the Team Wolf King Holiday Extravaganza. So you get to join us for that this year.
Yep. Yeah. Lynn was just kind of talking about that today. So
yeah.
Yep.
Why not have it? I guess Pixel Dan.
Raku said it. Pixel Dan had the Stratos tribute.
True enough. Yes, he did. Right. Exactly. Yep. I don't know if he's doing as many reviews as he used to. I'm not sure. I'm not always on his.
He's a pro wrestler.
Realm. Now. I know he's pro wrestler. I know. Maybe I'll become a pro wrestler.
He's been doing that for a long time, actually.
No, I know. Thank you very much. One of the trippy figures. Jeremy, thank you very much for staying up this late.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy.
Absolutely.
Wearing the Krampus sweater with me, and I don't know if you're sweating, but I am. This is great information. Go check out the site if you haven't read the write-up about the Father Christmas on there. It was really well done. Good read. Good. Lots of information. And yeah, anything else, Jeremy, you want to fill us in on, or just
no? Like I said,
all you can.
Yeah, this Wednesday.
What do you got coming up? Yes.
Yeah, I've got my weekly show. So I've actually wanted to have Nate Barch on my show for a while, and I was going to have.
I thought you had.
I've never had him on. I was going to have him right before Legions Con, but he he did a number of shows right around that time, and I was just like, you know what? They're all talking about the same
including
thing.
ours.
Everything, everything was so focused on what was happening for G-Con and Legions Con. So it's like, how much more are we going to talk about? So I said, I'll do it down the road. Working with Nate on a lot of these projects, on the artwork for Figura Obscura, it's an absolute joy. He's amazing to work with, and we're both such huge fans of Christmas that this was a perfect opportunity to bring him on and talk about the work we're doing, geek out about Christmas and the season and everything. So I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to just hanging out with my friend for an hour and a half and having a conversation.
I was going to say, because I'm going to be very interested in that. Next time I see him, I want to talk to him about this artwork, because I just love what he did. And it's so different from even the Headless Horseman kind of, it's adjacent to the stuff he's done for He-Man and Mythic Legions, but this is a complete departure. And I've seen his other artwork. Sure. He's got a lot of other stuff that he doesn't do, just, the fantasy thing. But I just love this. So I can't wait for that conversation.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good phrase. You should use that. Feel free. The article is very well done. But that's Wednesday night at 7:30.
7:30. Nice early time slot, so y'all can get to bed.
Yeah.
Actually, right after that show, there's going to be another live stream, because I'm going on Wednesday this week. I'm going to have Nerdzoic is going to be on, and we're going to slightly continue the conversation from last week. So
nice. Yeah, Nerdzoic, I think his poll closed, but he did have some people up there, the YouTube people. So it's over, but I am doing like a little winner video for him at some point. I've got to get that done. But so that's Wednesday night. I was thinking maybe we should just move the show to 9:00 on Wednesday, because then it's just like we could just take over Wednesday. Like all the other toy shows just have to go away, because it's just Mythic Legions, like from 7:30 till like 11:30 at night. It would be incredible. But go check that out,
because my show is so like I think I've sworn
you're done at 9, man.
But I think I've also only sworn like twice ever on my show.
I know.
It was none of the bad swears. And you guys, you're drinking on this show. You drop a few, but that's okay, because you're a later time slot. So thematically, it would make sense that I'm like that early slot.
You're the prime time thing where you got to be, and then the censors go to bed, and like we can do whatever we want.
So how do you guys?
You're Johnny Carson. We're David Letterman.
Yeah. How do you get away with Chris in the afternoon then? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other thing. Yesterday was real close to like, I think somebody coming and saying
George that drops the comments on the show.
Yeah, George really is the instigator, I think. Definitely.
Jesse just said on there, he's got a meal on Sunday at 2 and Pete McCarthy at 9 p.m.
Oh, nice. Oh, there we go. A meal Sunday at 2 and Pete at 9.
Wow.
It's a full day, man. Holy cow. Yeah, that's a lot of fun to watch. Definitely watch Jesse.
It's incredible to see how much Legions content gets put out there. It's such a great aspect of the community.
Yeah, fantastic. So, Bill, you're on at 9:00 on Wednesday this week, right?
There's going to be a little overlap, 8:30.
8:30.
But people can join in on mine late. But my wife's going to be gone Thursday, so we had to go Wednesday.
Gotcha.
And
So when you're done over at Mythic Conversations, Dork Raid over to Dork Lair and watch that. That's going to be great. Curtis, did I ask you? I asked you about what you got coming up. You got some stuff coming up in the Wolf Den, and that's it, kids. Thank you very much. We had like 112 people in here at one point. I meant to ask people to hit the like. Hopefully they just did, out of kindness. But on your way out, if you haven't, please hit it. Appreciate it. We will probably be back. I am not even looking at a calendar right now. December goes by so fast, but I think we'll be back in a couple weeks, depending on where that falls. But probably not next week, but maybe the week after that. And then don't forget to fill out your top 5 poll, and we'll either come back at the end of December or maybe the beginning of January to do that. So do that and go buy Go buy a Father Christmas, man. It's a great figure if you haven't done it. Just pull the trigger. Come on, just do it. Somebody's going to buy it from you if you don't like it when you get home. Somebody will take it. It's fantastic.
Beautiful.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.